Hello and Assalamu alaikum. The topic of today's lecture is clampers. The clamper is a network that is constructed of a diode, a resistor, and a capacitor that shift a waveform to a different DC level without changing the appearance of applied signal. Generally, clamper networks have a capacitor connected directly from input to output. Here we can see a capacitor is connected from input towards output section, a resistive element and a diode in parallel with the output. We have a resistor and a diode, both are parallel to the output section. And this clamper circuit may or may not have a series DC supply as added element. So if any clamper circuit have DC supply attached to it, we will call it a biased clamper. Here we have a clamper circuit shown in this circuit. This is a clamper circuit. So for its analysis, we have 5 different points. Let's start with the first point, which says we should start the analysis by examining the response of portion of the input signal that will forward bias the diode. In this case, we have to see which part of the signal will forward bias this diode. For example, in this circuit, the positive half cycle of input signal will try to forward bias this diode. So we should start our analysis from the portion of input signal when diode is forward biased. The next step is during the period that diode is in on state, assume that capacitor will charge up instantaneously to a voltage level determined by surrounding network. In this case, if we consider this positive half cycle, for this positive half cycle, the diode will be conducting and we can replace this diode with a short circuit like it's appearing in this circuit. So for the positive half cycle of the previous circuit, we have drawn this circuit again with the diode as short circuit, and this point says that the portion of signal we turn on the diode, in that case the capacitor will be charged up to the maximum voltage level which is determined by the surrounding network, or it will be charged instantaneously. Why instantaneously? Because we know that the charging and discharging time of capacitor is determined by R and C. So generally 5 tau is the charging or discharging time. In this case, for this circuit, we have short circuit instead of a resistive element. So for this case, R is 0. This means tau is 0 for this case. That is why the capacitor will be charged up to the voltage level determined by surrounding network instantaneously. The third point is that during the period when diode is in off state, the capacitor will hold on to its established voltage level. If we see this circuit, the diode will be off for the negative half cycle. In this case, we should replace the diode with an open circuit, and we assume that during that period when diode is off, the capacitor will hold its established voltage level. That means whatever the voltage uh, if- whatever the voltage up to which the capacitor was charged in previous stage, the capacitor will hold that voltage for this whole cycle, whole half cycle in fact. Fourth point is, throughout the analysis, maintain a continual awareness of the location and define polarity of output voltage to ensure the proper levels are obtained. This means that throughout the analysis we have to maintain the sense that where the output voltage is defined. In this case, the output voltage is defined against this R resistor. In fact, in parallel to the R and diode. Now to calculate the output voltage, we can apply KVL around this loop. So let's apply KVL. We have a drop of V volts since diode is off for the negative half cycle. So at input we have polarities like this, and then a drop of V at capacitor because capacitor was charged up to the V level during the positive half cycle when diode was short circuit or forward bias. So a drop of V and then a drop of V against this capacitor, and then again we have a drop of V naught against these parallel branches, and there is no rise in this whole loop, so rises are equal to 0. So rearranging will give us this equation that V naught is equal to minus 2V. That means V naught will be equal to minus 2 times V. We have shown the output right below the input waveform to show how actually the output signal develops. And for the last step, which is actually the check of the result, whether our results are correct or not correct, we have to check that the total swing of output signal matches that of input signal. So if we see, the total swing of input signal is actually 2V. The swing is from minus V to plus V. This makes 2V. And we have to check the swing of output signal as well. That is also 2V. This is from 0 to minus 2V. So the total swing of output signal is also 2V as that of input signal 2V. This means our results are correct. So for general analysis of clamper circuit, we have these 5 points, and if we follow these points, there is less chance of making mistake. Let us solve this example. This example is in your book. So we have a clamper network given in this circuit. Note that this clamper is a biased clamper. We have a 5-volt DC battery in the branch of diode. We apply this input signal given in this diagram to this clamper circuit, and we get output against this R resistor, which is 100 kilo ohm resistor. Please note that the frequency of this signal is 1000 Hz, or we can say 1 kilohertz, and the time period of this signal is 1 millisecond. 1 millisecond. And also note that the time for half cycle will be 0.5 millisecond. That means 0 to 0.5 is positive half cycle, and from 0.5 to 1 millisecond, this is actually negative half cycle. And if you remember the first step that says we should start our analysis from the cycle, or from the part of the signal when diode becomes forward bias. In this case, diode becomes forward bias for this part of the signal, that is from T1 to T2. For 0 to T1, the diode will become reverse bias. So we cannot start our analysis from 0 to T1. We have to start our analysis from the cycle from T1 to T2. And in this case, diode becomes forward bias, and we replace this diode with a short circuit because this diode is an ideal diode. So for the time period T1 to T2, we have replaced the diode with a short circuit, and we have this circuit shown here in this diagram. Now we want to know what the voltage will be appearing against this capacitor. We name it as Vc. We can find this Vc by simply applying KVL in this loop. So if we see the direction of current, which is this way, the diode, on diode, we mention the drop of Vc. But in your book, the author have applied KVL like in this direction. It doesn't matter, the sign or the symbols of these voltages will be reversed. So let's apply KVL in this direction. We have a drop of 20 volt. We have a drop of 20 volt, which is the input signal from T1 to T2. Then we have a rise of Vc, and then we have a drop of V, which is 5 volt, drop of V shown as negative 5 volt is shown here, equal to 0. This will give us Vc is equal to 25 volt. That means the capacitor will be charged up to 25 volt for this negative half cycle. And if we want to measure the output for this half cycle, we should know the output for this section also. We can apply KVL at output loop, or you can just you can find the output value by just examining the circuit. If you see, we are measuring output against the parallel of this branch. So you see, we are measuring output against this 5-volt battery because diode is a short circuit. So output should be 5 volt. V naught is 5 volt. You can verify this by applying KVL against this loop. So for the time period T1 to T2, we have output of 5 volt and capacitor is charged up to 25 volt. Now for the time T2 to T3, that is the positive half cycle, we should know the output value. And for this time, that is T2 to T3, diode becomes reverse bias and we replace the diode with an open circuit. This open circuit will make this whole branch as open circuit. So we are left with this circuit only, where we have a capacitor and a resistor. If we apply KVL at this loop, we will get the output voltage. So let's apply KVL. Plus 10 volt, it is rise, and then again we have a rise of 25 volt plus 25 volt, and then we have a drop of V naught. So drop is mentioned here, V naught. So this will give us V naught is equal to 35 volt. That means for this time T2 to T3, we will have output voltage of 35 volt. And if you calculate the time constant tau, which is RC, that will be equal to 100 kilo ohm into 0.1 microfarad, that will give us 10 millisecond. So 10 millisecond is the time constant, and we know 5 tau is the discharge time, that will give us 50 millisecond is the discharge time of this capacitor. We are calculating this discharge time to show that the capacitor will hold this 25 volt for this time, that is T2 to T3. This is actually a half cycle of input signal. If you remember, the frequency of this signal was 1 kilohertz and the time period of this signal is actually 1 millisecond, and half of the time period, which is T2 to T3, is actually half of the time period is 0.5 millisecond. So this pulse or this signal will last only for 0.5 millisecond, and discharge time of capacitor is 50 millisecond. That means capacitor needs 50 milliseconds to discharge completely, and this pulse or this part of the signal is actually lasting only for 0.5 millisecond. So we can easily assume that the capacitor will hold this whole 25 volts for this complete half cycle, actually the time T2 to T3. That is why we assume that for this complete time T2 to T3, capacitor have voltage 25 volt approximately. So we can easily assume that output voltage is 35 volt. So for the next negative half cycle, we again have diode short circuited and output voltage will be 5 volt, and it goes on. Let us see another example. The circuit is similar to the previous example, but now we replace this diode with a silicon diode. Now this is not an ideal diode, but this is a silicon diode. We apply the same signal to this circuit and see what will be the output. So remember, we start our analysis from the half cycle which makes this diode forward bias. So that is, we should start our analysis from T1 to T2. For that time, that is T1 to T2, we should replace the diode with a 0.7 volt drop because this is now a silicon diode. Now for this time, diode is replaced with a voltage drop of 0.7 volt, and if we want to calculate the output voltage for this time, we can calculate this by applying KVL against this output loop. So if we apply KVL in this direction, we have plus 5 volt of rise, and then a drop of 0.7 volt, and then a drop of V0. So this will give us V0 is equal to 4.3 volt. In previous example it was 5 volt because we didn't have drop of 0.7 volt in that example. Now to calculate VC, that means the capacitor will charge up to Vc, so we should find Vc also. So we can find Vc by applying KVL in this loop. So let's apply KVL. We have a drop of 20 volt, and then a rise of Vc, and then again a rise of 0.7 volt, and then a drop of 5 volt. That will give us Vc is equal to 25 minus 0.7 volt. This is equal to 24.3 volt. That means capacitor will be charged up to 24.3 volt. Now for the next cycle, that is actually half cycle, that is T2 to T3, the diode becomes reverse bias because we are applying positive signal at the input, and diode is uh, attached like this. So if we apply positive signal, that will make diode reverse bias. So for this time, that is T2 to T3, our circuit will be like this. So if you want to find the output voltage in this case, this we have already calculated. So for this case, if we want to apply find the output voltage, we can apply KVL at this outer loop. So KVL will give us plus 10 volt rise and then again 24.3 volt rise of VC, and then we have a drop of V0. This gives us V0 is equal to 34.3 volt. V0 is equal to 34.3 volt. And then for next cycle, diode becomes forward bias, and we have output voltage of 4.3 volt, and this continues. Here two clamper circuits are shown, and the input signal is also shown here. So there are multiple types of clamping circuits. Few are positive clamper circuits. That means they clamp the DC value of input signal to positive side, and there are negative clamper circuits also like this, which clamp the DC value of input signal to negative side. You can see different circuits and their biased versions also. Biased means we have DC voltage source or DC battery attached to the branch of diode. You can try by applying the input signal to these circuits and verify the output signal. Here are the examples of negative clampers, uh, where we apply the input signal and DC value is clamped to negative side. We have seen the examples of input signal which were rectangular waves. You can apply sinusoidal signal to clamper circuit and find the output signal. Here is the example of uh, application of sinusoidal signal to clamper circuit, and this is the output. So that is the end of our lecture. Thank you very much.